Yo, what's going on, everybody? Happy Monday. You guys are probably watching this on a Wednesday or Sunday, but God loves you every day. So, as you guys can see, my brother's not here right now. He's actually sleeping. But I had a thought that I wanted to kind of talk about. And so that topic was self-image. This is something that people underestimate heavily and don't understand that self-image is actually what drives your life. It drives you, it drives the way you live your life and everything. So the actual definition I can pull up, but what it means to me is what you think other people think about you. That's my definition, but the full definition is self-image is the mental picture or perception you have of yourself. It includes how you see your appearance, personality, abilities, values, and how you believe others perceive you. So that last sentence pretty much aligns with what I have it as. And the reason why I want to talk about this topic is because I experienced it first class. When I was at in my hometown, I remember just creating a certain level of results in the finance kind of industry in a sense of like, making some decent money, saving, investing, buying nice clothing, having jewelry, my earrings, eyebrows slit, like everything that I could do to make myself look better, be better mentally, it created my self-image to increase. What I mean by that is you walk into a room, if you feel like you look good, if you look good, you'll feel good. And that's a great thing. That's a great thing to have. But as I walk into rooms, you feel high self-image, which is like high confidence, right? Because of the way that you look. And I had the nicest shoes that I tried to have, and I was just trying to do the best that I could. And in the time of my life when I was younger, to me, being cool was rocking with the wrong crowd. And not in a sense of the people that I hung around with, but just the culture that was being developed. Cussing, going to parties, drinking, smoking, just all of these things that really didn't have any benefit in my life. But while doing that, my self-image was increasing because of the fact that to me, that's what I thought looked and was cool. And and it wasn't like I was doing it because I was like, "Oh, this is cool, so I have to do it." It was actually quite the opposite. It was because I thought people thought it was cool internally, so my body increased, my self-image elevated the more I did it because subconsciously I that's just the way that I had kind of not grew up, but our community and culture talked about highly. Like the most popular kids in school were the kids that were doing these activities, right? Might not be necessarily, but that's the way that I viewed it. And so as I kind of went down this route, I realized my self-image was increasing. So I had a high self-image in certain rooms in certain areas. I walked in like I was the guy, I was that guy. And that's how I felt. And not in a cocky way, but just in a way like a self-image was high to the point you can walk into the room and you feel like you're not shy in the corner. That's a very low self-image. If you ever talk to somebody and they're like, "Hi, like how you doing?" They don't look you in the eye. That's a low self-image. If you walk to somebody, firm handshake, dead in the eye, "How you doing?" It's so like that is a high self-image. That is what it actually looks like. So one of the things that I realized is when I moved to Atlanta, a big component for the reason why I moved here was to network, right? I want to achieve big dreams. I have, plans in order, and I know that the only way to succeed at a high level is through connections, is networking. And so I had to ask myself, well, how do I network? Well, you network by connecting with people, and how do you connect with people is you relate to people. And so what I realized was as a minority, I already have a disadvantage, right? Not by looking through a victim lens, but by understanding that doesn't matter who you are or what you believe, you are judged based on the way you look, talk, and carry yourself. It doesn't matter if you are one of those people that say, I don't judge a book by its cover. Subconsciously, you do. And so I had to realize, well, how do I become relatable? And I realized I need to stack all of the chips in my favor. I can't do anything that can put me in a position where I am not able to tap into some certain community, some certain connections, some certain rooms, some certain people. And the way you do that, or the way that I believe to do that, is to become relatable. So, what did I have to do? Let me give you an example. People that have earrings, men that have earrings. I think it looks great. I think it's awesome. I loved when I had earrings. But to some people, men should not have earrings. And I'm not saying that's a fact. I'm not offending anybody. This is just opinions some people have. That is a fact. Some people think that men should not have earrings. So, in order for me to connect with the most people, I need to become as basic as possible. So, where did that start? That started by stacking chips in my favor. So, what did that mean? For me, that meant no more earrings, no more eyebrow slit, no more chains, no more designer clothing, no more dressing like a child, no more like if I was sagging when I was younger, wearing my pants lower is what I mean, wearing off-white and all of these streetwear brands. I needed to become as relatable as possible, so I became plain collared shirts, nice pants, slacks, and nice shoes, just basic. No facial hair. I had a goatee. I'm a bad example right now. I'm getting a haircut tomorrow, so it should all be cleared up. But no facial hair. And the reason why is the less facial hair you have, the more trustworthy you are. A lot of people disagree with that. A lot of people think it's extreme. Well, you can believe what you like, based on my studies and whatnot. That's just the way things are. It's more professional. It's a more professional look. You look at your presidents, no facial hair. You look at the Yankees. I don't know if you guys know, but if you have a beard and you want to play for the Yankees, you're not playing for the Yankees. They will not allow anybody on their team with a beard. So based on that, I became basic. But what I realized is when I became basic and I stripped myself from all of these extra luxuries that made me feel quote unquote confident, which was fake confidence. I deceived myself into believing that I had high self-image because of the way I felt, but I realized it wasn't actual confidence. It wasn't actual high self-image. It was just me deceiving myself because of the exterior things that I had on. I had nice clothing, so I thought I was hard. I had this and that, whatever the case might have been. So when I stripped myself, I realized when I say strip myself, I mean I had nothing. I was basic. I looked in the mirror and I was afraid. I was afraid of who I saw because I realized I was not the person I thought I was. I needed to have to work on my self-image because my self-image was shot. My confidence was shot. Everything went to the ground. And I thank God that He didn't strip me of everything forcefully. He gave me a mindset that made me have that decision to be relatable so that I can actually reveal what I was at the core. And that brought me closer to God. That brought me closer to my faith. And that put me in a journey where I actually began to work on myself, my development, my communication skills, my dialogue, how to connect with more people by the way I speak, no more cursing, no more slang, no more just trying to be as relatable as possible. But through that journey, I found how to build Adrian for who I am and not for what I wear, what I have. Like if you feel good because you have the nicest car, that's amazing. But how can we build ourselves and understand that there's so much power behind our name? God has made us exactly who we are we came into this world with nothing, and God made us exactly who that person was supposed to be with no luxury. So you need to have the confidence in who you are without anything. And it took me a while to realize that. So I began to work on myself, and now I've gotten to a point where I can wear some nice things and know that my self-image is at a high point because of who I am and not because of what I have on, what I'm driving, whatever, how much money you have. All of that is irrelevant. It's becoming the person that you need to become at your highest level possible. Am I there yet? No. There's still so much work to be done, and I think that's the beautiful thing about it is there's never a point where you just stop. It's always more growth. So, that was my topic for today. I just want you to analyze yourself and understand how can I improve as a person. So my goal is to go out and make somebody smile, make somebody feel good. No one will ever remember you based on what you wore, how you looked physically. Don't get me wrong, health is very important. Please take care of your body, but people will only remember how you made them feel. And so connect with God because He knows you for who you are and He is your best friend. And I love Him and He loves you. And I'm just so thankful in this journey to closer to Him, that has revealed me for who I am. Because if you're watching this, no one will ever be you better than you. So maximize your capacity, build your self-image in the right way. So now I walk into a room, I can have a cut up shirt, I can have the worst gym shorts in the world and barefoot. And I can walk in that place and everyone will think I own that place. Not because I'm cocky, but because I'm confident in who I am, regardless of what I have. It's at the core, it's at the heart, it's at the mind, it's in my soul. It's because God is with me and God walks with me. So I hope that made sense. I hope that brought perspective to some people to understand to work on your self-image because that truly drives everything. If you walk into a conference room and you're looking to make a deal to better your life, it's going to be because of your confidence, your self-image. It's going to be because of the way you speak. The self-image that you have not only is work because it's all a built on component, built-in component. The way you speak work is in direct correlation to your self-image. So if you have a high self-image, you speak well. Now, that's not always true. I might have to take that back because sometimes we're deceived based on thinking we talk cool because of our slang or whatever. And because we think other people think we're cool, our self-image is high. So I might have to, take that back. But what I mean is having a high self-image can change your life. It's just the same way Vin Young says. He says you can negotiate your reality and based on the way that you speak. And that also ties in my belief, with your self-image by what you think of yourself. So hopefully this shed some light on some things that maybe we need to work on, but realize that nothing is more important than being you and being you at your highest capacity. So God bless you. God loves you. Peace.